and today I'm here to talk about everything I got signed at Rare. I'm so excited to make this video because what's going to be funny for me is the way that when I made my video like 6 months ago when I was like the books that I want to read before Rare, how half of those authors weren't at the event. So there's going to be surprises for you guys because I bought new books from authors I hadn't read from before, and I also bought books from authors that I already bought books to get signed, and I bought new books, but there's like a lot of stuff here, so I think this is still going to be like a really fun haul than to talk about all the things that I got signed, because I ended up getting 13 new books from the event. So I bought 6 new books and I received 7 free books, which is pretty good, and the other 18 were books that I brought with me. And I also have merch and all different things to show you. So this is going to be like a long video. Like, not that I need to really like try and make it quick, but I will try and get through everything that I want to talk about. I've got all the authors in order of when I think I met them. That's how I'm going to try and do it. But I'm so excited for this video because Rare was an amazing weekend, and I have a whole vlog for the event that you can watch, which is going to be the video before this one, and I will link it at the end page so that you can watch it, or you could just click on my channel and you can find the vlog, or you could also subscribe if you want to. I'm so excited for all the Rare things and I hope you are enjoying the content. But let's get into the book sign slash haul of things. The first thing I want to mention is I got a lanyard for Rare because I decided to buy one of the Rare exclusive lanyards. So it basically just says Melbourne Rare 2023, and it's really cool, and it says a Rare-ette, and it also says it on the cord. And what's funny is I was wearing this on the first day, but then I didn't wear it on the second day because I had to fly back on the day that the event ended. I had to have everything packed away so I didn't have to really deal with too much in the lobby. And when I went up to one of the signing authors, she also thought I was an author because all the authors had lanyards that said their names on it and they look very similar. So I was asked what I wrote and I was like, damn, nothing, but I wish I had. So the first author I went to see was Nicola Marsh, so I brought 2 books for her to sign. So the books that I brought for her to sign were Banish and The Man Ban, and it was so exciting too because she is friends with my auntie who is also an author, and my auntie told her that I was coming, and I made sure to go to her table first. So when I went over there, I was just like, oh my god, you know, I'm Michelle Douglas's niece, and we had a really good conversation because she kind of felt like she knew me because she knew who my aunt was, and she was really lovely to me, and like we talked about the books. And what's cool about this book in particular is my auntie actually picked it up for me at like a con or a writer's fest that happened about like 8 years ago, and she brought it home for me. And it's not an ARC, but it was just like, you know, an exclusive thing because this book doesn't get printed anymore. So when I gave Nicole Marsh this cover, she was just like, oh my god, like I haven't seen these in the wild for such a long time because they've had a reprint. So I feel like that's really cool. But there is the signature, if it's going to focus. It says Dear Abby, and then I don't know if there is an extra word here or if that's part of her signature, but there's my Banish signature. Then the Man Ban, I've got, see, I keep finding extra merch. So this one's Dear Abby, happy reading for the Man Ban. And then I decided to buy the boy toy. And what's ironic is these are a series, right? And this is the first one and this is the second one, but I didn't realize that at the time. So I bought the second one and read it, not realizing it's a second in a companion series. And I told her about that. And she talked to me about the fact that they make it so unnoticeable that these are actually meant to be read in order. They've mad, but there's nothing on them about them being 2 books in a series, which I think is funny. So that was like a really fun time. So I bought this one so that I can finally read the first book, even though in this book these characters were talked about, so I probably will kind of know where their story is going to go. But it's a romance, we know where it's going to go. They're going to fall in love, and that's how it is. And so there's the signature for this one. She likes to write on the side, which I think is really unique. But she just wrote, to Abby, enjoy, which is exciting. And then she gave me a free book, which makes me like so happy. So she gave me Playthings, which is one of her Mills and Boon books, even though I accidentally creased it a little bit in the journey home. And the only sucky thing is that she didn't sign this, so I didn't even think to say, oh, could you quickly sign it for me? So it's a perk having your auntie be an author because her friends will give you books, which is really nice. But I think it's meant to be like a steamy romance, and I have read some of my auntie's Mills and Boons, but I need to really get back into them. But there's like about 40 of them and I've only read 3, so I need to try. But I just was so shocked that like my first author gave me a free book, and I was like, thank you. So then the next author that we went to was Ivy Asher, and this is an author that I had no idea who they were or what they'd written, but I was in line with Sasha because we kind of made it a pact that we were just gonna like wait with each other even if it was authors that only one of us wanted to see. So I was waiting in the line with her and she was telling me about her books and I was starting to get kind of intrigued, and I got to the point where I was saying to Sasha, do you think I'll like this author? You've read them, do you think I will read their books? And she'd tell me yep, and I'd buy a book. So I got Grave Mistakes by Ivy Asher and Raven Kennedy. So this is what intrigued me because it's both of the authors, because Raven Kennedy obviously wrote the Guild series, which I have not read yet, but I own the first book, and I thought it'd be fun to read a book that they've written together. And Raven Kennedy was meant to come, but then she had a baby, which is understandable, but there is her signature and I absolutely love it. But what's really good too is I have a book plate, so I can put the Raven Kennedy bit down the bottom, so technically I still have both signatures. And then I've just got an extra Ivy Asher, so I thought that was really nice that they actually did that because they had the books for both of them. The only thing that's a bit sad about this is the book was $25, so I PayPal'd it, and then I realized it was actually $25 American. So this cost me $39 for a paperback, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't want to spend that, and if I knew that beforehand, I probably would not have. It is what it is. And then next to Ivy Asher was Sarah A. Parker, which is another one where I was waiting in line with Sasha and she was telling me about the cool books that she pre-ordered. And then I was kind of sitting there being like, yes, I've heard you talk about this before, Sasha. So of course I bought another book, which is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom. So this is one that I've seen around and it's a Rapunzel retelling, and there's a whole trilogy, but I only bought the first book. This one was $25 Australian, thank God, because I was like already like I'm spending too much money because the first 3 authors that I saw I bought books from them, but like it's what you do at book events, isn't it? Just spend all your money. But there is her signature in there, and I love that she's got the little heart and the X's and stuff, but that's really cute. But I was tempted the next day to come back and buy the rest of the books, but I didn't because I was like, hey, I probably don't have space in my suitcase. But also, you know, like what if I don't like it? That's the other thing, is like, yes, it's good to buy them at the time, but also what if I don't like it and it's just like, shit, I have all these books now and I would have had to spend another $50, but I'm really happy that I have this, and it's really nice that I expanded my collection of authors because I bought 2 books, and I just felt really good about that because low-key was really sad when I was going into the event with 9 authors that I wanted to see, so then I was like, oh, it's 11 now, which made it even better. Then I had 2 pre-orders that I did before going to the event, which is a really cool thing that they did, is all the authors would have Google form docs that you could fill out and choose which books that you wanted to buy from them, so they would bring the quantity of books that were purchased so that when you went to that author's table they had them behind them so that they could like quickly grab the stuff with your name on it. So it gave you the chance that if they only brought a small amount of stock and it sold out, you were guaranteed to have books. So 2 of the pre-orders that I had from authors that I hadn't read from before was Plight by K.M. Goland and Playing Pretend by Eden Summers. I'm not gonna lie, I was drawn in by the beautiful covers because this is the kind of contemporary vibe that I like. Like, they could be extremely steamy and smutty, I don't know, I kind of hope so, but like these just seem like books that I was gonna really enjoy. So K.M. Goland signature, it really doesn't want to focus, so she's like, hi Abby, say hi to Pugly, and there's her signature because I assume that this dog is Pugly. But this book is like not very long, like at all. It's only like 220 pages. Basically the point of this story is that back in the day they were friends, like childhood friends, when they were 8 years old, and he proposed to her when they were 8 and she agreed, but then she said, but we can't get married until we're 30. And then they grew apart and haven't seen each other for years, and then they turned 30 and he messages out of the blue like, hey, are we still gonna get married? And I just, the vibes sound amazing. And then Playing Pretend, I've got my signature in here where she's saying basically, hopefully you like the main character, because it's a fake dating work trip situation. Basically, she's got a work trip that she needs a fake boyfriend for, so Rome steps up to the task and they have to pretend, and then they start to feel like it's not pretend, which is the goals of fake dating. So I'm very excited to read this. And also they talk about one bed on the back of the book. So next I got to meet Evie Mitchell, and that was an amazing experience. She is absolutely lovely and I just love talking to her. So the book that I brought with me was not my type, and this is hilarious because when I did my Google form for my book signings in general, because I bought 1 book from her, I said to either draw something funny or tell a joke in the signing, and well, don't flag me, but the best thing. So, dear Abby, enjoy Hot J. I already got to enjoy him. He's amazing. I recommend this book so much, and you can buy them on Amazon at least so you can get a copy of it, but I absolutely loved it, and it's also available on Scribd. So either listen to it or buy it. But this book is amazing. And then I pre-ordered Love Flushed, and I actually pre-ordered all 4 books in this series, but she didn't get to write in the other 2 just because she just wasn't feeling them, I think, at the time, and it was just getting really stressful for her. So I'm happy that she's taking care of her mental health and she needs to do what she needs to do, but I also really want the next 2 books. But she's also written like a lot of other books in between, so at least she's still got like the creativity passion there. It's just not for this series right now. But I think this one she just said hashtag shit happens because that's the toilet paper company. I'm obsessed, honestly. These 2 are my favorite signings because they're just iconic. Okay, so the next author is the 3rd author that I said to Sasha, do you think I should buy something? And she's like, yes. So I did, and that was for Opal Raines. So I have A Soul to Keep, and this is the first book in the Dustwalker Brides, and this one was also like $26, but I've never read a monster romance, and I feel like this seems like a good one to try. And the cover's just gorgeous, but there's vibes here. Like, I feel like this is going to be really good, and I plan on reading it this month because I'm picking what I want to read this month just based on vibes. So a lot of these rare books I'll probably want to read. I probably won't get to them all. I'll get to some, but like definitely, hopefully if I can like get to the ones that I bought within the year, I'll be really happy. But she used a gold Sharpie for her signature, and just that's an amazing signature, and it's personalized, which I love so much. And then the next day I did decide to go back for the rest of the trilogy. So I've got A Soul to Heal and A Soul to Touch. I assume it's all different demon men because they kind of look a bit similar, but he's got like ram horns, he's got like antlers, and his are like bull horns. So this is definitely going to be an experience for me because, as I said, I don't read monster romance and I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I don't know if this is a good one to start with, or I'm going to get just chucked into it and I'm going to be like, oh! But I want to enjoy it. I really hope I do. And it just seems like these demon boys are going to be really sweet, but like, you know, pretty much these signatures are like basically the same, but she still personalized them, which is really nice. To be honest, she was probably one of the least talkative authors, but she was so cool. Like, her whole look was amazing, and I just like, if someone's awkward and then I get awkward, it's just really hard to come back from that conversation. So I had to go back the next day and I was like, hey, what's up? I want to buy some more books. How are you going? It's like, why am I so awkward? Oh my god. So one of the authors that I was so excited about coming as a last minute thing was Astrid Schulte, who has written 4 Dead Queens and The Vanishing Deep. I was living, okay? I was so excited when this was announced because 4 Dead Queens is like one of my favorite books. I enjoyed this book so profusely, and it's actually ironic because I went back to look at my top 15 books of the year for this year and it was 3rd, and I was like, holy shit. And I totally forgot about the fact that there was an equal tie basically for this book, Red, White and Royal Blue, and A Curse So Dark and Lonely, because like I had 3 top books when normally I can pick my favorite book in the first half of the year. That has not happened this year because nothing has really captivated me to the point where I'm just like instantly no. Like, there's no changing that. I hope that something will happen for that, but at the moment there hasn't been a book. But I got all of these signed, and it was actually kind of scary because she was one of the only authors that asked me questions about her books. So everyone else, I was like, oh my god, I love your books, or I want to buy your books. But she's just like, oh, who did you think the killer was? And I was like, I read this book like 5 years ago and I don't remember. Like, I can tell you that it's my favorite, but do you think I remember what happened? No. So I just randomly chucked out a response and she looked at me weird, and I'm just like, I did it wrong. I only remember what happens now. I don't remember my thoughts and feelings on it. If she asked me about this one, it would have been better because I read it more recently, but then I also was like, oh yeah, I read it ages ago because I felt bad, and I'm like, what am I doing? This is the awkwardness that you get at book events with me. So she actually personalized them as well, but she actually wrote something about each book. So she's like, long live the queens, which I really enjoyed. Okay, for The Vanishing Deep, I don't actually know what she said. Can anyone help me? Because it sounds like it says make the middle, and I feel like this word could be want, but like make the middle want means nothing to me. Like, I just read this book, but that doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like this word can't be want. But I'm just like, make the middle wait, make the middle, like, I don't know. And then I had to buy her newest release because I knew that this had come out, but I just had never bought it. And it was only $15 for a paperback because it was so nice having an Aussie author there, and I was like, yes, made a saving somewhere. But I have no idea what it's about, but the second book should be coming out next year at some point, which is also exciting, so I will definitely have to buy that. And then this one, she just said, welcome to the league. I don't know what that means yet, but hopefully it will make more sense soon. And then the last author that I saw on the first day was M.K. Mulford, who was definitely probably my favorite author that I saw. Like, J. Bree was cool and Anna Huang was cool, but they were like hella famous and they kind of had the whole vibe of like, there's so many people we can't really talk to you, which is fine. And Sally Thorne was amazing, but M.K. Mulford was just like so down to earth and like normal. Not that authors aren't normal, but it's because like she is getting more popular and people are reading these books, and they definitely need to, because like honestly this probably could be my favorite book of the year because I loved it so much. And the fact that I got to go up to her and say, oh my god, Hale is the best, and we had a whole conversation about him, it was amazing. But I saw her multiple times because I met her at the meet and greet, then she remembered me when I came to get the book signed, and then I came again to talk to her on the last day because we just had like 5 minutes left and we just picked an author to go chat to, and I was so glad we did because like she was just so genuine and nice. Like, I really enjoyed having a conversation with her, even though she wrote a book that I'm obsessed with. It's the weirdest experience, I swear. So here is her signature, and it's honestly one of my favorites because she did a whole quote, which is, no one decides how bright you shine but you. Like, excuse me? Like, that is the sweetest. Like, I read the quote and I loved it. And she had stamps, like legit stamps, so I could put Northern Court, Western Court, Southern Court, the High Mountain Court, and Eastern Court, and then A.K. Mulford. Honestly, everyone else kind of picked one stamp and I picked all of them because I have no chill. And the Northern Court one's flipped and the A.K. Mulford one's flipped, but like, I don't care. I like it. And so, you know how I said that we went back on the last day to chat with her? Well, she had one more of her novellas left and she just gave it to me for free, even though we were kind of all like, oh, who wants it? But like, everyone decided I should have it because I was the only one in the group that had actually read from her book. So I actually have no idea what this is about, but it's a Christmas story and I think it's going to be hella cute. But like, another free thing. Like, I'm so shocked by how much free stuff that we actually got because it's just so nice that they actually have all this stuff to give us. And it just makes you feel so like nice that there's just all this cool stuff. But she also gave me book plates because there is going to be 5 books in the High Mountain Court series, so I've got 4 more book plates that I can put in my book. But if she comes to another signing again, I will get them actually signed. But for the moment, I can put these in. It makes me happy. Actually, I lied. The last author that I got to meet was Anna Huang. So I brought all of these with me and I didn't buy any books from her because she didn't have any herself, for one thing. But these are, she has other books, but these are like the popular ones. Now that she's been traditionally published, like a lot more people are reading her books, but these seem to generally be the popular ones. But the fact that you could just come up with a stack this big and she signed all of them, like, it's amazing how many books these authors were signing. But they're all pretty much the same, like personalized with her signature, but nothing really extra. I assume she would have, yeah, she just used the same green pen. But the fact that these books are actually personalized to me, like, I've never had personalized books before, except like I own one singular book, but it's just such an experience to just like have these. And like on the Love Oz YA page, I always see people who are just like, oh, it's personalized to me, and I'm just like, how are people this lucky to get this experience? It was so fun. Like, I cannot wait for there to be more book events so that we can get more stuff signed because it's amazing. Then the next day I got 2 more author signings because they were the last ones that I needed and the books that I owned the most of. So J. Bree, I already owned the first 4 that I brought with me to get signed, and J. Bree's are very generic because she couldn't personalize because she had so many people waiting. So I probably won't show you all of these, but that's just her basic signature. And my pre-orders were these ones. So I got books 5 and 6 of the series. So now I can continue on with listening to the audiobook because I like to know where I am up to in the book when I'm listening to a book I already own, because I can mark it in my reading journal. If it's just an audiobook that I actually don't own, I don't do that. It just goes into my reading journal as a book read. But yeah, these ones, again, are just the same generic signing. And I only had books 5 and 6 pre-ordered for the longest time, but then I caved to buy the special edition Broken Bonds, and to be honest, it's a little disappointing that it's only a paperback because I was really hoping it was going to be a hardcover, because this cost like $70 to pre-order because the prices were not in Australian, they were in American. So my $80 order turned into a lot more. But like it does have like that really cool like shininess, and it has like this blue on the cover. And it's a Rare exclusive, so only people at Rare can get them unless people decide to sell. But she did like the special marker pen for the signing. And there's also a bonus chapter for Griffin in this book. But it is kind of funny seeing the way that this book is so much thicker than this book. So like they can always definitely change paper sizes or sizes of books to definitely make them seem like they're not that long, even though they are. But I'm definitely glad that I did decide to buy this so I don't get to experience the FOMO of being like, oh, why didn't I buy it? So it makes me happy. And then the last author I saw was Sally Thorne. So I only have 3 of her books. I haven't read this one yet, but I've read the other 2. And she was so lovely. Like you went down and she actually had a chair for you to sit on that she would like pull out for you to have a conversation with her. And she just generally wanted to know things about you. Like she wanted to know what you're doing with your life, like what books you like to read. And it's like she doesn't really need to talk to you about that stuff. And I was just like pleasantly surprised that she just wanted to know about me. But it was just like the most wholesome interaction with her. Like I really enjoyed the chats with Sally Thorne. So for the hating game, she put big hugs in her signature, and it's also personalized. In second first impression, she drew a turtle. I don't understand what the turtle has to do with it yet, because there is this turtle on the book here, but I'm sure I will find out eventually. And then for Angelica Frankenstein, she's got Love Your Special Copy, because this is actually Sasha's edition and she has my edition, because we actually annotated them and Buddy read them like at similar time. This is the snippet I'll give you, but Abby's version and hers is Sasha's version. And I will have a whole entire reading vlog about this book coming out, because I still have to actually film me looking at her reactions because I haven't had the chance to. But this was definitely a really great experience, and I'm really glad that we decided to do it because we told Sally Thorne about it and she thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I love that. Okay, I also have Evermore by BB Reid, because there was posts happening in the last hour and a bit of the event where authors were just giving away books or selling them for really cheap, because none of them wanted to bring any extra stock with them if they were flying, because it was going to cost too much, so they preferred to just give it away than have to spend more money. So this is one of the authors that just had like a pile of books on her table, and this was the last one and we all grabbed one. Like I have no idea what it's about, and it's only like a novella sized book, so I probably didn't need it, but I was also like, ah, it's free, take it. And then the last books I want to talk about is all the freebies I got from the event. So at the meet and greet, they had a table with 3 different books on them, and not gonna lie, we were meant to take one, but like later on near the end of the event there were still books around, so I grabbed a second one. But the first book I grabbed was Luke and Lexi by Elise Faber, and I went and got this signed. Oh, there is another bookmark and a sticker in there. So it says Abby, just puck it, which makes me think that this is a hockey romance, which I think could be a lot of fun to read. And I think it's really cool that authors at the event actually wrote books for us so that we could take them for free. Like I feel like that's such a cool thing for them to actually do. And then I've got Filthy Sinner by Serena Ackroyd, so this one I also got signed. Here it says Abby, get filthy with Dissa, loves Serena Ackroyd, which I think is pretty cool. I'm assuming Dissa might be that main character, because this author explained that this is just a taste of her worlds, that she put 2 characters together, but she's got like multiple books and series in this world about these characters, because it's like a motorcycle club. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily really enjoy this, but I am excited to give it a go. And then when we actually got into Rare, they had Wolf by Rebecca Zanetti on a table, so we were all able to get a free copy of this as well. And I also went and got this signed. So she just says to enjoy the Wolf Shifters, and it's personalized as well, which is really cool. Also the novella was signed as well, but I forgot to mention that. And then definitely a highlight and something that I really wanted to get is the Rare Anthology exclusive, which is only a Melbourne thing, where 11 of the authors wrote a short story for this book, and I got all of them to sign. Except one, which really annoys me, because on the second day I got the anthology signed and it was going to be like my fun little game, but then I did have to see Jaith Bree and Sally Thorne, so they were priority. But what happened is the author that we didn't get to sign the anthology actually left very early in the day, so she was gone. So that's why we couldn't get the signature. Not that we ran out of time, but they even had like a signing checklist so that we could mark off who we'd seen, and I got them all to sign like at the start of their chapters, and it was really fun. So this one's like, Abby, it was nice to see you, which was by Rebecca Zanetti again. I gotta see if I can find them because they're like all throughout. This one's really cool. So Sienna Snow did one and she embossed it. Like there's 10 of these signatures in here, and I can't seem to find any more of them. Elise Faber's also in this, and she said just puck it again. But like some of them just like wrote really long messages as well, because like I didn't buy any of their books, but it was just really nice that they were happy to sign the anthology. So it was really cool having this as just like a little extra thing to do. And seriously, I got a lot of different things from different authors, be it bookmarks. I got like all these character cards from Astrid Schulte, which I think is really cool. And like I even got a stubby holder, which is like I like my drinks cold and my books steamy, and just a whole heap of like different things here that is really cool to have. This is my like sticker envelope, because like so many people had like really cool things and like, you know, getting like rarette stuff. Like I definitely need to use some of this in my journaling. Probably like if I actually read books from these authors, like I should put them in. I'm pretty sure that's a Broken Bonds sticker. Like so many like really fun things to have. And I got this tote bag from J. Bree, which was a part of my pre-order. So that's like really pretty. It's got like the signature in there. And I also got this like drawstring bag for Ivy Asher. And like I've also got so many, like I've still got my wristband. I've got lots of like pens and stuff. Like this was a rare pen. KM Golan. Got a pencil from someone. Got lots of like pins and stuff. So like the amount of stuff really did amaze me. Like we got so many cool things. But that is all for my haul. I know that this video is going to be really long. If you watch it till the end, not that I really do the emoji thing, but if you watch it into the end, maybe send me like I'm trying to think of what's like a good emoji, because like I've never had to think about this before. You know, it's so obvious, but send me a pen because it's a signing. That makes sense. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!